EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Ready. Mike 45. Gun.
On first down, Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. In on the stop, Vernon Hargreaves. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Newton delivers this one to McCaffrey, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton forced out to his left. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Play action. It's Newton. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. 9 yards that time.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive.
Set. What do you need? Check Mike 54. Mike 50. 20. Let's get this.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers, and a first down here. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. A good run at 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw, Winston. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 54 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind. No pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
They'll try to run with Hunt, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Kareem Hunt, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now this throw caught left side. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Newton. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw is Newton. He rifles complete, caught by Moore. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to throw, Newton. Steps away to his left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
This is taken at the 3. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
23 yards, the final tally.
1st down, Tampa Bay.
Ready. Black, 22. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Working out of the gun, Winston. That's caught by Howard. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They've moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Kareem Hunt with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Newton. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he's got his target. That's more. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a Carolina 1st down on a gain of 16. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Newton. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
At their 49-yard line.
Now on 2nd and 13. Newton dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Newton to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. And he completes it to Hunt. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Again, it's Winston. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, as the first half is winding down, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that makes it a 21-10 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Sideline throw, that's caught by Moore. A gain there of 21 yards.
It's a gain of 21 yards. And the Panthers first down.
Newton now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. A final shot before the break. Newton flush to his right. Now he's thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21, and he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And some room to run now. That one good for 33 and a first. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Winston gives to Barber. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Ready. Blue ready. Mike, 58, right there. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Winston from the gun on third down. He's got Evans. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They come out here in the eye.
Check.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
That's it, baby.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal.
Hatch it. Tight. Check 99. Check 99.
A second down carry for Irvin. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal?
Defense, keep it up, guys. Mike, 50.
From the gun, Winston. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Boy, such a good drive. You'd hate to have it end in 3. Do you think about going for it?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that they've moved the ball so well should lead you to the decision that maybe we should go for it right here. Also, as a head coach, show some confidence in your team. Let them know you think they can go get it.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Newton now to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 16 yards, a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 49.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Levante David in on the tackle. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
On fourth down, Newton. Got his target, Samuel. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Newton. He goes full extension, and he's got it. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now throwing on 1st down and completing it. And out of bounds right around the 20. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. To throw again on 2nd down. Newton eluding the Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. On 1st down, Newton. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far, a big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. And I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true. It's actually right.
It happens more often than you might think. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 11 yards there, 1st down. Out of the gun, Newton. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys are back within a single score. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a 2nd time for 6 points.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs. And keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those 1st downs, keep possession of the football.
Ready?
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Check it back, check it back.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Barber on 1st and 10, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. So this defense gets an assist from the goalpost, and as a result, it's going to keep them within 1 score.
Yeah, that looked to be good the whole way. But that is a big break here in the fourth quarter of a football game. Now your offense needs to find a way to capitalize.
That's going to be caught, and he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers? And this is going to be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a run with McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
On 2nd and 12, Newton, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. Throwing again on second down. Winston. And incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He completes it to Evans. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Ready? Blue ready. White. Flip. Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Come on. Sunday. 65. Check.
Now Winston. Able to get this to Gordon.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Winston now from the 50. And this is caught by Evans. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Winston to throw. And he finds Howard complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015.